Hey everyone, I hope all of you guys are doing good and staying safe. In the previous video, we took a look at how to create the VPC through something called as the launch wizard with a public and private subnet template. My VPC has been successfully created. Let's walk through all the resources that this VPC has created so that you get more clarity. And then, guys, I'm going to bring in an additional lecture where we take a look at organization, industry standard, and then we will see as to how to create a VPC by ourselves. Okay. So let's take a look at all the resources that the launch wizard has created for us. So you can see that we have the VPC with the 10.0.0.0/16. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this VPC ID so that we filter all the resources based on this VPC. And let's see if we have the DNS hostname and the DNS resolution enabled. So for that, you can click on your VPC, click on actions, and take a look at DNS hostnames. It's enabled. Wonderful. Let's take a look at DNS resolution. It is enabled. Wonderful. So now I'll have DNS names allocated to all of my resources as private and public DNS, and they would respectively resolve to the respective IP addresses of public and private IP accordingly in my network. Cool. Let's take a look at the subnets that this VPC has created. So I'm just going to filter based on my VPC. We have a public subnet and a private subnet, 10.0.0.0/24 for the public, 10.0.1.0/24 for the private subnet. There is one small modification that we are going to do over here. In the previous Networking 101 lecture, we took a look at the public subnet and all the resources that resides within the public subnet having a public IP and a private IP. I would like AWS to auto assign public IP addresses to all of my resources that I place into my public subnet. How do I do that? I click on the public subnet, click on actions, and click on edit subnet settings and enable auto assign public IPv4. So what is this? So AWS automatically assigns public IPs for all of the resources in my public subnet. Rather than me going ahead and allocating that, I'm going to enable this on a subnet level for AWS to auto assign public IPv4 addresses. So then we are going to take a look at the route tables and see how many route tables have been created. So I'm again going to filter based on my VPC. I can see that we have two route tables over here. One is the main route table, and you can see this main route table does not have any explicit subnet associations, which means there is an implicit subnet association, which is nothing but the private subnet that is associated with the main route table, whereas a custom route table has been created for us to which the public subnet has been associated. So this is an explicit association. Now let's take a look at the routes. So for the custom route table, which is the public subnet, we should have a route to the internet gateway. Do we have that? We have a 0.0.0.0/0 route to the internet gateway. So if I place any resources into the public subnet, I will have internet access to all those resources. And of course, there's a local route to state that anything and everything can talk within the VPC. Let's take a look at the main route table. The main route table, which has the private subnet, which is an implicit association, you can see that it also has a local route, but it does have a 0.0.0.0/0 route to the NAT gateway. Let's take a look at the internet gateway and the NAT gateway now. So the internet gateway is a one-to-one mapping to a VPC. So you can see that we have an internet gateway that was custom created for us by the VPC wizard, which is attached to my VPC. Let's take a look at the NAT gateway. So on the left side navigation bar, you can scroll down below and take a look at the NAT gateway. You can see that this NAT gateway's connectivity is of type public and it's residing within the public subnet. So if I scroll this metadata a little bit more on the top, you can see that the NAT gateway is sitting in the public subnet and it has an elastic IP that is associated with it. And this NAT gateway is responsible for providing internet connectivity to all of your resources in the private subnet. So that's why it's very, very important. I'll again stress this point that the NAT gateway, which is public in nature, should always reside in the public subnet and have an elastic IP associated with it. So these are all the resources that are created when a new VPC is created through the launch wizard. And of course, we have two security controls. One is network access control list, and the other one is a security group. You can see that for our custom VPC, we have a network access control list that is associated with both the subnets by default, and it has an inbound rule and an outbound rule. The inbound rule says allow all traffic. The outbound rule also says allow all traffic. So when we create a VPC the hard way, I'm going to take you through the process of how do you segregate your NACLs for each and every subnet. So a public subnet would have its own network access control list. A private subnet would have its own network access control list. So I'll see you in regards to creating it the hard way, where we will explore more on this. And the launch VPC wizard has also created a security group for us. Probably I don't see one. Okay, that's great. So it has not created a security group for us. We only have the default security group still. Okay. So launch VPC wizard does not create a security group for us. Okay. So right now we saw all the resources as part of the launch VPC wizard of creating a public and private subnet architecture. Let's go back to our diagram and revise this one more time. So we saw all these resources, right? So we saw the VPC that was created by the launch wizard. We saw the public subnet with this address, the private subnet with this address. We saw a NAT gateway placed into the public subnet with its own elastic IP. We saw one single network access control list associated with both the subnets. We saw a custom route table mapped to the public subnet, which had a route to the internet gateway, and a main route table mapped to the private subnet with an implicit association that had a route to the NAT gateway. So welcome guys, we have created this architecture, our first architecture. We created it through the launch wizard. How easy was it? Let's take a look at the next few videos where we will deep dive more into VPC concepts and organizational standards. So I hope you had a good time. I hope you had all of your resources created. Let's take a look at all of the VPC concepts in more detail in the next video. Have a great day. Have fun. I'll see you in the next video.